Captain Aria Winters stood at the helm of the ESS Hyperion, her eyes fixed on the holographic display showing an abandoned Zenaran research station orbiting Proxima Centauri V. After 6 months of tracking suspicious activity along the border of human space, they'd finally found something concrete. The sleek vessel had been specially modified for stealth operations, allowing them to slip past the station's security grid undetected. Thermal readings confirmed, Captain. Lieutenant Raj Kumar reported from his station, dark eyes narrowing at the data stream. We're picking up human biosignatures, hundreds of them. But they're different. Aria's jaw clenched. The Zenaran Empire had been humanity's first contact 5 years ago, arriving with promises of technological advancement and cultural exchange. Their elegant ships and advanced technology had dazzled Earth's leaders, leading to rapid integration and cooperation. Too rapid, she now realized. Different how? She asked, though part of her dreaded the answer. The patterns are erratic, like they're being interfered with somehow. Raj's fingers flew across his console. There's also massive energy consumption centered around the life support systems. Whatever they're doing in there, it's not standard research. The bridge fell silent as implications sank in. Over the past year, dozens of colonial outposts had reported mysterious illnesses affecting their populations. The victims would fall into comas, only to wake weeks later with no memory of what happened. Official investigations blamed it on an unknown pathogen, but Aria had never bought that explanation. Prep the boarding team, she ordered. Full stealth protocols. I want us in and out before they know we were here. 20 minutes later, Aria led her tactical team through the station's emergency access shaft. Their advanced infiltration suits, a recent development from Earth's secret military research division, rendered them nearly invisible to standard detection systems. The station's interior was pristine, almost sterile, with sweeping architectural lines typical of Zenaran design. But something felt off. The air held an undercurrent of ozone and antiseptic that made her skin crawl. Life signs strongest through there, whispered Commander James Rodriguez, pointing toward a sealed doorway marked with Zenaran script. Whatever they're hiding, that's where we'll find it. Using stolen access codes, they bypassed the security and entered what appeared to be a massive laboratory. Aria's blood ran cold at what she saw. Rows upon rows of stasis pods lined the walls, each containing a human body floating in pale blue fluid. Cables and neural interfaces connected their brains to a central processing hub. My God, James breathed. They're not just experimenting on us. They're turning us into living computers. Aria approached one of the pods, wiping condensation from its surface. The face inside belonged to a young woman she recognized from missing persons reports. Jessica Nash, a colonist from New Eden who had succumbed to illness 3 months ago. Download everything, she ordered, her voice tight with controlled fury. Every file, every record, every piece of data they have. The Council needs to see what our allies have been doing. As her team worked, Aria discovered records revealing the horrible truth. The Zenarans had discovered that human brains possessed unique properties that, when properly configured, could process quantum calculations far more efficiently than artificial systems. They had been systematically harvesting humans from outlying colonies, using their minds to power advanced computational networks, while keeping their bodies in suspended animation. A sudden alarm shattered the silence. Captain. Raj's voice crackled through her comm. 3 Zenaran warships just dropped out of FTL. They'll be in weapons range in 10 minutes. Download status. 87% complete, James reported. Make it faster, and send what we have so far to Earth Command. Maximum encryption. If we don't make it out of here, they need to know what's happening. The next few minutes were a blur of activity as they completed the data transfer and began their withdrawal. They had nearly reached their extraction point when heavy footsteps echoed down the corridor. Intruders detected in Section 7, announced a cold, artificial voice. Security teams converging. New plan, Aria announced. checking her weapon. "Commander Rodriguez, get that data back to the ship. The rest of us will hold them here." "Captain." "That's an order. Earth needs to know what they're doing to us. Everything else is secondary." As James reluctantly retreated with the precious data, Aria and her remaining team took defensive positions. The first wave of Zenaran security forces rounded the corner. Tall, ethereal beings in gleaming armor. Their weapons fired pulses of quantum energy that could disrupt neural patterns, designed to incapacitate rather than kill. They still wanted human minds intact after all. "Humanity is not ready for the truth," the lead Zenaran announced in perfect English. "Submit, and your integration will be painless." Aria's response was a barrage of concentrated plasma fire that sent them scrambling for cover. "The only thing humanity isn't ready for," she snarled, "is finding out what happens when you make us angry." The firefight that followed would become legendary in the annals of human military history. Outnumbered and outgunned, Aria's team held their position long enough for James to reach the Hyperion. As the ship broke free from the station's gravity well, carrying proof of the Zenarans' betrayal, Aria allowed herself a grim smile. The aliens thought they could subjugate humanity through deception and technology. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. Commander Kai Patel stared at the holographic evidence for the 100th time in Earth's underground military command center. The data recovered by the Hyperion had confirmed their worst fears. But it was what they discovered afterward that truly chilled him. The Zenaran infiltration went far deeper than anyone imagined. "They have agents everywhere," he reported to Admiral Helena Reyes, pointing to highlighted positions across Earth's government and military hierarchy. The neural technology they used wasn't just for computation. It was for control. Helena's weathered face hardened as she studied the patterns. "How many?" "At least 300 in key positions. Maybe more we haven't identified yet. They're subtle. Their hosts don't even know they're compromised." Kai brought up another display showing brain scan comparisons. The neural interfaces let them influence decisions while leaving the subjects thinking everything's normal. A soft chime interrupted them. "Speaking of infiltrators," Helena said, "your guest has awakened." In a secure medical bay, several levels below, Naira Valthor lay on an examination bed, her silvery skin pale under harsh lights. As a high-ranking Zenaran scientist who had chosen to defect, she represented both an unprecedented intelligence opportunity and a serious security risk. Kai entered alone, dismissing the guards. He had spent weeks building trust with her before she finally agreed to help expose her people's plans. There was something in her violet eyes that spoke of deep regret, of horror at what her civilization had become. "The neural harvesting was never supposed to go this far," she said without preamble. "We thought we could guide humanity toward enlightenment, help you achieve your potential. But the military council," she shuddered, "they saw only weapons to be forged." "Why come to us now?" Kai asked, though he suspected he knew. Their conversations had grown increasingly personal over the encrypted channels they had used to communicate. "Because I saw what humans truly are." Naira sat up, her movements graceful despite her weakness. "Not primitive beings to be molded, but something unique, something remarkable. Your minds aren't just powerful. They're adaptive, creative in ways my people have forgotten. The military council doesn't want to guide you. They want to break you, turn you into organic processors that never question, never dream." An alarm suddenly blared through the facility. Kai's comm unit crackled. Multiple Zenaran vessels just appeared in orbit. "They're demanding we surrender all rebel elements immediately." Naira's eyes widened. "They followed me. Somehow they tracked." She grabbed Kai's arm. "Listen carefully. The neural network, it's not just for processing. It's building something. The collected human minds are being used to solve equations, to model reality itself. They're trying to create a quantum gateway large enough to bring their entire fleet here instantly. No warning, no defense possible. How long? Days, maybe less. Unless She hesitated, then continued with determination. I know how their systems work. If you can get me into one of their facilities, I can plant a virus that will disrupt the entire network. But it has to be done from inside. Kai studied her face, looking for any sign of deception. He had been trained to suspect everything, trust no one. But something in him had changed during their secret conversations. He had seen the pain in her eyes when she described what her people were doing, felt the genuine horror in her voice. It's a trap, Admiral Rice said later when he proposed the plan. It has to be. Maybe, Kai admitted. But what choice do we have? Their ships are positioning themselves around every major population center. The moment that gateway opens, Helena's face softened slightly. You care for her, don't you? My feelings are irrelevant, he replied stiffly. No, they're not. Because I need to know if your judgment is compromised. Before Kai could respond, new alerts flashed across their screens. Xenaran forces had begun landing outside major cities worldwide, but something was wrong with their deployment patterns. They're not attacking, Kai realized, studying the tactical display. These aren't invasion positions. His blood ran cold. They're setting up containment zones. They're going to harvest entire cities. Helena's decision was instant. Launch everything we have. All the prototypes, all the experimental tech. If we're going down, we're taking them with us. She fixed Kai with a stern look. Take your Xenaran friend and get to their nearest facility. If there's even a chance she's telling the truth about that virus. The next few hours were chaos as Earth's hidden fleet engaged the Xenaran ships. The aliens' technological superiority was fearsome, but humanity had spent years preparing for betrayal. Experimental weapons platforms powered by reverse-engineered Xenaran tech emerged from secret bases. Orbital defense satellites previously disguised as communication relays revealed their true nature. As battles raged in orbit, Kai and Nera slipped through enemy lines in a modified stealth shuttle. Their destination, a secret Xenaran research facility buried in the Antarctic ice. With the enemy focused on major population centers, they had a chance to strike at the heart of their neural network. Why did you really help us? Kai asked as they approached the facility's coordinates. The question had burned in him for weeks. Naira was quiet for a long moment. Because in all our centuries of advancement, my people forgot what it meant to feel, to dream, to love. She turned to him, her violet eyes bright with emotion. Until I met you. The facility loomed ahead, a crystalline structure rising from the ice like an alien crown. As they began their approach, Kai knew humanity's fate would be decided in the next few hours. Either Naira's virus would work, or Earth would fall to an enemy that saw its people as nothing more than biological processors. But looking at her, seeing the determination and compassion in her face, he dared to hope for something more. A future where humans and Xenarans could find a better way forward together. First, though, they had to survive the coming storm. The Antarctic facility's interior was a maze of crystalline corridors and pulsing quantum circuitry. Kai and Nera moved silently through the shadows, their stealth suits adapting to match the translucent walls. Above them, the battle for Earth continued to rage. The main neural hub should be 3 levels down, Naira whispered, consulting a holographic map projected from her wrist device. That's where we need to upload the virus. A distant explosion rocked the facility. Through the facility's transparent ceiling, they could see flashes of weapons fire illuminating the dark sky. Earth's forces were putting up a fiercer fight than the Xenarans had expected. Your people underestimated us, Kai said as they descended through a maintenance shaft. They thought humans were primitive because we hadn't mastered faster-than-light travel or quantum computing. We were arrogant, Naira admitted. We saw your art, your music, your endless creativity, and dismissed it as childish. We didn't understand that was your true strength. They reached the hub level and found themselves facing an enormous chamber. Thousands of neural interfaces lined the walls, each connected to a central quantum core that pulsed with an otherworldly light. But what stopped them cold was what they saw suspended in the center. A massive crystalline structure taking shape, piece by piece. The gateway, Naira breathed. It's almost complete. Before they could move forward, a cold voice echoed through the chamber. Indeed it is, traitor. High Commander Vextor materialized from a quantum shift, his tall form radiating power. A dozen elite guards appeared with him, weapons trained on the intruders. Did you think we wouldn't notice your defection? He sneered at Naira. That we couldn't track the quantum signature in your very cells. His attention turned to Kai. And you, human, so easily manipulated by false emotions. The only false thing here is your supposed superiority. Kai replied, subtly shifting his position. He had noticed something the Zanarans hadn't. The facility's warning lights were flashing in an unusual pattern. Vextor laughed. Superiority. We offered you advancement, partnership, and how did humanity respond? With violence. Primitives lashing out at their betters. No, Naira stepped forward. We offered them subjugation disguised as partnership. We violated their trust, stole their people, treated them like resources instead of beings worthy of respect. The High Commander's face twisted with disgust. You've been corrupted by their chaos, their disorder. Once the gateway opens, the chamber suddenly plunged into darkness. Emergency lights flickered on, bathing everything in red. A familiar voice came through Kai's hidden comm unit. Now would be good time to move, Commander. All hell broke loose. Earth's special forces, having used the orbital battle as cover to infiltrate the facility, burst through multiple entry points. They had developed weapons specifically designed to disrupt Zanaran quantum technology, turning the aliens' advantages against them. Kai and Naira sprinted toward the central core as chaos erupted around them. Vextor screamed orders in his native tongue, trying to maintain control of a situation rapidly spinning out of hand. The virus, Kai shouted as they reached the core's access panel. Uploaded. Naira's fingers flew across the crystalline interface, implementing the code she had spent months developing. But Vextor wasn't finished. The High Commander Quantum shifted directly behind her, energy blade materializing in his hand. Kai threw himself between them, his armor shields barely deflecting the blade. You want to know humanity's true strength? He grunted, engaging in close combat with the much larger alien. We never fight alone. A sniper shot from Earth's forces caught Vextor in his shoulder, disrupting his quantum field. More shots followed as human soldiers pressed their advantage, using tactics the Zanarans had never encountered before. Upload complete, Naira announced. The virus spread through the neural network like wildfire, targeted code attacking the very foundations of the Zanaran control system. Throughout the facility, neural interfaces began shutting down safely, freeing their human captives. Vextor staggered back, watching in horror as the gateway construction began to destabilize. What have you done? He demanded. Given humanity a chance, Naira replied. And maybe given our people a chance to remember who we once were before we lost our way. The facility's quantum core pulsed erratically as the virus spread beyond the Antarctic base, propagating through the entire Zanaran network. On screens throughout the chamber, they could see similar facilities worldwide experiencing cascading failures. The Gateway project was collapsing. But they weren't done yet. Reports were coming in of massive Zanaran reinforcements preparing to jump into the system. Earth's forces had bloodied the advance fleet, but they couldn't survive the arrival of the Empire's main armada. Kai pulled Naira close as they watched the quantum core's erratic pulses grow stronger. Tell me that light show isn't what I think it is. She smiled grimly. The virus isn't just shutting down their network. It's repurposing it, using all that quantum processing power for something else. What exactly? A surprise. Her violet eyes gleamed. One that will show the military council that humanity isn't just worthy of respect. They're worthy of fear. As alarms blared and battles raged, the reprogrammed quantum core began to pulse with new purpose. Earth's defenders had bought them time. Now they would show the Zenaran Empire exactly what happened when you pushed humanity too far. The true battle for Earth was about to begin. Admiral Helena Reyes stood on the bridge of the ESS Prometheus, Earth's newest and most advanced warship, watching as the quantum core's energy signature grew exponentially. The virus Naira created wasn't just disrupting Zenaran systems, it was transforming them. Multiple quantum signatures detected, her tactical officer announced. The Zenaran main fleet is attempting to jump in. Through the view screen, space itself seemed to twist as hundreds of Zenaran warships began emerging from quantum space. Their sleek, crystalline vessels filled Earth's orbit, weapons charging. It should have been humanity's darkest hour. Instead, Helena smiled. "Send the signal," she ordered. "Execute Operation Prometheus." Across Earth, the reprogrammed quantum cores pulsed in perfect synchronization. The virus had turned the Zenaran's own neural network into something new. A quantum defense grid powered by human ingenuity and alien technology. As the Zenaran fleet emerged, they found themselves trapped in a massive quantum field. "Their weapons and engines are offline," reported Commander Rodriguez from his station. "The field is holding." Helena opened a channel to all Earth forces. "This is Admiral Reyes. Launch Phase 2. Show them what humanity has been working on." From hidden bases around the planet, Earth's secret weapon emerged. A new class of hybrid vessels combining human creativity with reverse-engineered Zenaran tech. But these ships had something the aliens had never seen before. Neural interfaces designed to work with willing human pilots, amplifying their natural abilities instead of subjugating them. In the Antarctic facility, Kai and Naira watched the battle unfold through the facility's quantum displays. The Zenaran fleet, trapped and powerless, could only watch as Earth's forces moved into position. "Impossible," High Commander Vextor whispered, his arrogance finally shattered. "How did you develop this technology?" "You gave us the tools," Kai replied. "We just used them differently. Your people saw human minds as processors to be enslaved. We saw them as partners to be empowered." Through their quantum link, Naira could feel the astonishment and fear rippling through the Zenaran fleet. Their entire military doctrine was based on technological superiority and absolute control. They had no protocol for facing an enemy that could turn their own weapons against them. Admiral Rice's voice echoed through all frequencies, in both human and Zenaran languages, to all Zenaran forces. "Your neural network has been compromised. Your quantum drives are disabled. Your weapons are offline. But we are not like you. We do not seek to enslave or destroy." She paused, letting her words sink in. "You came to Earth thinking us primitive, easy to subjugate. Instead, you gave us the keys to our own evolution. The neural technology you used to enslave us. We've transformed it into something you never imagined possible. A true partnership between human consciousness and quantum mechanics." On the quantum displays, they could see Earth's hybrid ships moving into formation. Each vessel pulsed with energy as their human pilots interfaced with systems that amplified their natural creativity and adaptability instead of suppressing it. "Here are our terms," Helena continued. "Immediate withdrawal of all Zenaran forces from Earth space, release of all human captives, recognition of Earth's independence and sovereignty. In return, we share our innovations, show you a better way to use neural interface technology, one that enhances life instead of enslaving it." The quantum core pulsed again, and new data flooded the displays. Earth's scientists had done more than just reverse engineer Zenaran tech. They had improved it. The hybrid ships demonstrated capabilities that the aliens had thought impossible, their human pilots achieving computational feats that no enslaved mind could match. In the Antarctic facility, Naira stepped forward. "Your choice is simple," she addressed her people. "Continue this war and face an enemy who has turned your greatest weapon into their greatest strength, or embrace change. Learn from humanity's creativity, their adaptability, their unbreakable spirit." High Commander Vextor looked broken, his worldview shattered. The Military Council will never accept this. The Military Council isn't here, Kai pointed out. But 300 of your most powerful ships are trapped in Earth orbit, watching their supposedly primitive enemies demonstrate mastery over quantum mechanics. What message do you think they'll send home? Through the quantum network, they could feel the shift in the Zenaran fleet's collective consciousness. Centuries of arrogance and absolute control were crumbling in the face of humanity's impossible achievement. A new voice came over the comm. Admiral Sinfar, commander of the Zenaran fleet. Admiral Reyes, we wish to discuss your terms. Helena's voice was firm, but not unkind. A wise choice. Admiral, remember this moment. Remember what happened when you tried to enslave humanity. And remember that we chose mercy over vengeance. As negotiations began, Kai turned to Naira. Think they learned their lesson. She watched her people's mighty fleet hanging powerless in Earth orbit, surrounded by ships that represented a perfect fusion of human and Zenaran potential. I think they're beginning to understand what I learned living among humans. True strength comes not from control, but from cooperation. Not from subjugation, but from synthesis. The quantum core pulsed one final time, its light now steady and strong. Above them, the future of two civilizations was about to be rewritten. 5 years after the Battle of Earth, the Sol system had become something unprecedented in galactic history. A thriving fusion of human and Zenaran civilization. The crystalline spires of New Alexandria rose from the Sahara, its quantum processors powered by willing human partners whose creativity and intuition had revolutionized computational theory. Captain Aria Winters, the officer who had first discovered the Zenaran plot, stood in the grand chamber of the Earth-Zenaran Alliance headquarters. The room was filled with representatives from both species, gathered to witness a historic moment. The quantum gateway network is complete, she announced, gesturing to the holographic display showing interconnected nodes spanning human and Zenaran space. But this time, built with cooperation instead of coercion. The network represented everything that had changed. Instead of enslaving human minds, it enhanced them. Instead of suppressing creativity, it amplified it. The result was a technological revolution that had transformed both civilizations. In the audience, Commander Kai Patel sat with Naira Valthor, now Earth's ambassador to the Zenaran Empire. Their relationship had become a symbol of what was possible when their peoples worked together. Their daughter, the first human Zenaran hybrid child, slept peacefully in Naira's arms, her skin a subtle shimmer of silver and rose. The military council's fall was inevitable, Naira whispered to Kai. They couldn't adapt to a universe where control wasn't the answer. She was right. After the Battle of Earth, the Zenaran population had learned the full truth about their leaders' actions. The resulting revolution had been swift and largely bloodless. The new government, led by reformers who saw the value in human partnership, had embraced change. Admiral Helena Reyes took the podium next. Age had left its mark on her face, but her eyes were sharp as ever. 5 years ago, we faced extinction. Today, we stand on the brink of a new age of exploration. The Gateway Network doesn't just connect our worlds. It opens paths to regions of space we never dreamed of reaching. The holographic display shifted, showing the vast unknown territories beyond their combined space. The quantum network they'd built together could take them further than either civilization had gone before. But our greatest achievement isn't technological, Helena continued. It's understanding. The Zenarans learned that true power comes from embracing diversity, not suppressing it. And humans learned that our greatest strength isn't our ability to fight. It's our ability to forgive, to adapt, to imagine better possibilities. In orbit, the combined Earth-Zenaran exploration fleet prepared for its first mission. The ships were crewed by both species, their designs incorporating the best of both worlds. Human intuition and creativity worked in harmony with Zenaran precision and quantum mastery. We go forward not as conquerors or controllers, Helena declared, but as explorers and partners. The galaxy awaits, and together we face it stronger than either of us could have been alone. As applause filled the chamber, Kai looked at his family, his Zenaran wife, their hybrid child, the impossible future they represented. "Think the rest of the galaxy is ready for us?" he asked. Naira smiled, her violet eyes twinkling. "They better be. Because what we've built here, what we've become together, it's more powerful than any weapon or technology. We've proved that diversity isn't weakness, that cooperation trumps control, that love can bridge the gap between stars." Their daughter stirred, opening eyes that swirled with both human warmth and Zenaran starlight. She represented everything they had fought for. Not just survival, but transformation. Not just peace, but possibility. Above them, the first ships of the combined fleet entered the quantum network. Their crews, human and Zenaran, working as one, prepared to explore regions of space no one had ever seen. They carried with them not just advanced technology, but a profound truth, that the greatest power in the universe isn't the ability to conquer or control, but the courage to change, to trust, to grow together. The Battle of Earth had taught the galaxy a lesson it would never forget. Humanity wasn't just capable of defending itself, it was capable of transforming its would-be conquerors into allies, of turning tools of enslavement into instruments of cooperation, of meeting attempted genocide with forgiveness and innovation. As the ships vanished into quantum space, Area Winters smiled. The Zenarans had wanted to use human minds to unlock the secrets of the universe. Instead, humans had shown them something far more valuable, that the greatest mysteries could only be solved together, that the most powerful force in existence wasn't control, but connection. The future stretched before them, infinite in its possibilities, and for the first time in their history, both humans and Zenarans faced it not as masters and slaves, but as equals, partners, and friends. The stars beckoned, and together they answered the call. The end.